So it's that time of year again. It's about Christmas time, and I want to show you that we got our Christmas tree all finally decorated. My daughter has gone completely crazy. As you can see, we don't do the traditional star on top of the tree. My daughter puts Minnie Mouse up there because she loves Minnie Mouse. She loves all things Disneyland, just like her dad. We got our we're working on the gingerbread house. We haven't quite got there yet. My daughter's actually she ends up eating more than she she builds it. But the reason why I'm pointing this out is it's around that time of year, and Christmas time brings, for me, I start thinking about people that have passed and that are no longer here with us. And one of those people that were really close to me was my uncle. Funnily enough, his name was Eric as well, spelled the same way. And Uncle Eric, he was awesome. He had like one of those big beards, and when I was a little kid, he would just like tickle me, right? Tickle my face like crazy, and you get all excited when you're little. But the one thing that I always remembered is when he used to take us water skiing, and behind his boat, and he would go crazy. Like once you got old enough to, to be able to be okay on the skis, he would then start going crazy. Like he would drive left and right, then left and right, and your rope would go slack and hard. It was a crazy ride. And last week when I was at a client's, I was talking to them about their clients, so this accounting firm, and they were complaining about, that they weren't getting enough work from their clients outside of just the compliance filings. And I said, well, and I thought about it, it's kind of like being a water skier. Most accountants are like water skiers. They're being dragged behind the boat, and their client is in the boat driving it, and then the client decides to turn left, and then they turn left, and then all of a sudden the accountant's pulled left, and then they turn right, and then they turn right, and then the accountant's pulled right. And it's nuts, especially when they're going back and forth and back and forth. It drives us crazy because we have no control. So I was telling to my client, I said, get off the water skis and get into the boat. Get into the boat and help drive where it's supposed to go instead of reacting all the time. And I know that for me, I was doing the same thing. Like when I had my practice, clients would come in, and then I would be like, well, if they brought up the fact that they wanted to deal with their estate plan and I had to look at their wills, then I would do it. But it was always a reaction on my part. I was always reacting to what they wanted instead of being proactive. And then when I started to become proactive with my clients, I started to drive the boat instead of them driving the boat. And I was being able to drive the conversations about, hey, have you thought about where you're going with your business? Have you thought about how you're building your wealth? Have you thought about, when you're going to retire? What's your estate plan? And actually putting that into a systematic way where every time I was meeting with them, we'd go over it again, make sure that nothing had changed. And I started driving the boat. Not only did it make, the ride a lot better. I wasn't being pulled left and right like a water skier was. I started to drive the conversations and drive my revenues up as well, because I was starting to make the change orders where it was like, okay, now we need to do this. Let's do this next project. And I made more money, and I wasn't being dragged around like crazy on the water ski like my Uncle Eric used to do to me when I was a little kid. So anyways, wherever you're watching this, please scroll down, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for more success. Did I just say that? I did that. It's always the close. The close is the hardest thing for me. Stay tuned for more success tips to come.